This program contains dramatizations of real people and events. Some names have been changed. This program is for mature audiences only. It contains graphic images, which may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. In New Orleans, a young man meets a mystery woman, then vanishes. His family and police need answers. Only a psychic can provide.
I was looking through Andre's eyes and I was seeing and feeling water.
In a small New Jersey town, a teenage girl walking home never makes it. No one knows what happened until a psychic calls in.
I felt that it was a moment of explosive rage. I felt him drag her into the woods.
When clues are scarce and answers elusive, investigators sometimes turn to a psychic witness. Kenner, Louisiana, just outside New Orleans. On June 9, 1987, 27-year-old Andre Dagel shoots pool after work with his friend Nick Shelley.
We played about 2 or 3 games. And then Andre went up to the bar to buy us a couple of beers. And at that point, he started talking with a woman at the bar.
She seems mysterious.
She wouldn't establish any eye contact with me. And I just thought she was shy.
Not too shy to ask Andre for a ride home.
I left one way and he left the other with her. She said she lived close and he was just gonna drop her off. And that's the last time I saw Andre.
As days pass, friends and family scramble to find Andre, according to his brother Chris.
The first thing was to make all the phone calls to the friends, the people, his acquaintances that he spends most of his time with.
But no one's heard from Andre. The family files a missing persons report. And although police agree to keep an eye out for Andre's truck, Kenner Police Captain Jim Gallagher can't launch a major investigation.
When you have a single male who left the lounge with a female, you're not going to devote a lot of resources right off the bat attempting to find this individual.
But the Daigle family can't just wait.
Well, there was a definite sense of urgency, you know. I mean, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to pick up his trail or find him.
Friends and family divide up the New Orleans area for a search.
We just drove all day back and forth each and every street. We did this for 3 or 4 days and nights.
They find nothing, and hundreds of posted flyers produce no good tips. 2,000 miles away in Los Angeles, Andre's sister Elise fears the worst.
There was no doubt in my mind that something terrible was amiss. Something horrible had happened. Andre was never the kind of person who stayed out, who, you know, would take off and stay out overnight without letting someone know where he was. It just wasn't in his nature.
In desperation, Elise seeks a different kind of help.
I had never gone to a psychic before, but none of us could find him. If everyone was scouring the city and unable to find him, then I had to do what I could to help.
A friend recommends Rosemary Kerr. For over 20 years, she's helped families by trying to connect with the lost.
When I'm doing a reading, I have a physical contact with the person, whether they happen to be alive or they made the transition. If the person has made the transition, has passed over, I am in the person's body looking out through their eyes. It's like watching a movie. in color or black and white, but it's all going on at the same time. I'm watching, I'm looking, I'm trying to find out what's happening and where I am, but yet feeling again all the emotions of the person. I'm devastated by the pain.
She told me, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know a thing. She said, come to my house Saturday night, bring a picture and a map.
Rosemary tapes the reading with Elise, who's ready with the photo. The medium tries to connect with Andre.
When you're involved in the reading, there's an awful lot of energy that's passing between the people there. It was very intense. I was extremely emotional, and she's there, and I'm wanting as much information as she can give me.
I need to know about my family members. Give me the person's name for the one you want. Andre.
Rosemary centers on the photo.
I was seeing Andre's dark vehicle. And I told Elise I found the vehicle.
Does he have a black car? No.
Around him, this lady. And she kept insisting, no, he's got a white car.
But it's the psychic who's right. What Elise doesn't know is that her brother recently bought a black truck.
I can feel the person's vibration and give you information, who they are, how they are, where they are, what they're feeling.
Rosemary's connection to Andre becomes physical.
My head is killing me.
I had pains in my head that my temples were throbbing, and then the back of my head was hurting. So I was holding my hands to my head at various places. I could feel the blows and I could feel red. And my head is killing me.
Okay, because what I'm picking up here is a lot of confusion. I feel a blonde person around him. The last time he was seen, he was leaving with a girl. I don't know what color her hair is.
I'm watching, I'm looking, I'm trying to find out what's happening, where I am, what's in the vicinity.
Rosemary again envisions Andre's truck.
While I was looking at this truck going down the freeway, I could see it in detail, and I could also see heads in the truck. Dark head of hair, and again, a blonde or dirty blonde head of hair.
Then Rosemary sees Andre with a woman he met at the bar.
I did not see her face at the time, but I got every other impression. And as her vibration came in, to say it was negative is putting it lightly, it went beyond that.
But where is Andre?
Feel the map.
As I'm working with the map and with my eyes closed, what I am feeling is a sensation, a vibration in my fingertips. And this is leading me to places that I need to go to find who I'm looking for.
Between road and bridges, and it's almost like I'm going under the bridge. Yeah, keep feeling that 7 around. 7.
I was looking through Andre's eyes and I was seeing and feeling water. I was terrified. The sensation in my fingers was very, very strong, very, very vibrant, and my finger just kept stopping on one place on the map, a place called Slidell.
She feels they can find the truck there.
No, I have to give you this because something's coming in. If you can find them there, do it quick. If you can find them there, I'm getting strong combination. Do it quick. Do it quick.
The urgency came in, do it quick, do it now. I wanted to get up and yell, you need to get the people over there now. I could feel it in every fiber of my being that time was of the essence, and that if we lost this window of opportunity, that she would never find her brother.
Elise immediately calls Louisiana.
All of a sudden, from the clear blue, Andre's sister from LA calls and tells us that a psychic is telling us to take off the Slidell. I was a very big skeptic as far as psychics are concerned. But the way you're feeling, after days go by, you get to a point where you'll do anything to find out where this person is. We didn't even hesitate. We just said, let's do it, and took off the Slidell.
Within an hour, the family reaches the rural area of Slidell. As they search the desolate road, a truck passes. Not just any truck.
I was in shock. That's Andre's truck, you know, with the license plate. It was his truck. The only thing was, it wasn't Andre in the truck. There was two strangers. Two strangers.
We don't know who they are, what they've done with my brother. We don't know how dangerous they are. They've obviously got his truck, most presumably stolen. Our only option was to follow the truck because that was the only thing we had that could lead us to Andre. Here we are now on this dark, lonely road late at night, just blindly following these guys. Don't know if we're being led into a trap or what.
And after a while, we realized that they're trying to lead us somewhere because they were getting into smaller roads.
It grows darker and darker till they hit a dead end.
At which point they turn around and facing back out towards where they had just come from, and they stop the truck, turn off the headlight, don't get out the truck.
It seemed like it could be an ambush. So we sat and waited.
The psychic didn't predict what waited for them inside Andre's truck. When Andre Dagel goes missing in Louisiana, California psychic Rosemary Kerr helps his worried family. Following Rosemary's directions, they spot his truck in Slidell, Louisiana, and find themselves in a standoff with the two men inside. Andre's brother, Chris Daigle.
At that moment, they just kind of sped up and took off right back down the road we had just come from.
The chase is on. But the family's not alone.
Just maybe a quarter of a mile down the road, we see a squad car from the Pearl River Police Department. We pulled over, and my wife, Virginia, jumps out with one of the flyers and runs over to the squad car and shows it to him. She says, you know, this is my brother, he's missing, and that's his truck, and that's not him driving. Well, thank God for those officers and their quick response. They just took right off after him.
After a 10-mile high-speed chase, the truck pulls over. Officers arrest Charles Gervais and Michael Phillips on suspicion of auto theft. Police find guns inside the truck, loaded and ready to go. But there's no sign of Andre, and the men won't talk. Captain Jim Gallagher learns Rosemary Kerr led the Daigle family to the suspects.
Once they told me that all this information was being developed by a psychic who was from California, I was skeptical. I was very skeptical, but it was my job to respond and see if there was, in fact, any merit to what was being said.
Gallagher contacts Rosemary.
She talked about the things that she had given to Elise. She confirmed the fact that she had never ever been in Louisiana. The description of the individual involved, Mike Phillips with the long blonde hair.
Then the psychic reveals something she hasn't told anyone else.
She also told me that she felt that Andre was dead.
She says her headaches during the reading tell her it was some sort of brutal assault to the head.
I was able to look through his eyes so that I could see where Andre's body was.
She saw a long bridge, the number 7, and water all around Andre.
And I talked to her probably about an hour, and by the time I got off the phone, you know, I was a believer.
Still, Gallagher needs solid proof. Police check the suspect's apartment and find it. Blood spatter in the living room, and a large pool of blood on the floor. But no body. Michael Phillips won't talk, claiming no knowledge of any crime. But when police confront Charles Gervais with the evidence and with Rosemary's visions of Andre's murder, he confesses.
He said, we killed him. We killed him and we dumped his body.
Gervais explains that he and Phillips wanted to become hardcore criminals.
He says, so we decided to do this test run to make sure that we could in fact kill someone if we had to.
They used live bait, according to prosecutor W.J. LeBlanc.
They enlisted Michael Phillips's girlfriend, Thelma Horn, to bring someone back to their apartment so they could practice.
And she had gone out twice before and didn't come back with anyone. And on this third attempt, she came back with Andre.
When channeling Andre, Rosemary felt intense head pains.
He was still alive. They cut the cord off of the vacuum cleaner, put that around his throat, and twisted it with the hammer itself to try to cut off his oxygen. It was an absolutely horrific death.
After confessing, Gervais leads police to the body. As officers approach the area, they're shocked by the accuracy of Rosemary's visions.
She felt that he was near a long bridge and there would be water all around him. She felt that the number 7 was very significant.
After a long bridge, Gervais directs them to take exit number 7. He says he and Phillips entombed Andre's body in a sofa and dumped it in the swamp's black water.
I'm trying to rationalize how she could have possibly provided this information, you know, a day before anyone knew that there was actually a homicide. It's just baffling. It's like, there's got to be a way. I don't know how she did it, but I can't explain it, you know, so all I can do is accept it.
They've finally found Andre, but for the family, it's not over, and new twists await on the road to trial. Louisiana police arrest Charles Gervais, Michael Phillips, and Thelma Horn for the murder of Andre Dagel. The killing stuns prosecutor W.J. LeBlanc, who's worked dozens of murders.
You can't get much more horrific than the way that Andre Dagel died.
Charles Gervais pleads guilty to first-degree murder and goes to prison for life. But Michael Phillips and Thelma Horn each fight the charges against them and force a trial. For perhaps the first time in a U.S. criminal court, a psychic takes the stand as a witness for the prosecution.
To tell the entire story, I felt it was really important to have the jury see Rosemary and hear Rosemary and truly understand the entire nature of the case and just how extraordinary it was.
Rosemary testifies that during her reading, she felt severe headaches. She also explains to the jury how she directed the family to Slidell.
The most amazing moment to this case is the fact that you have a psychic telling them to go there immediately, and the family does that at the precise moment that the deceased's vehicle is driving past with the killers inside. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
Midway through the trial, after days of damning testimony, Michael Phillips changes his plea to guilty on first-degree murder charges. Thelma Horn is later convicted of second-degree murder. Their sentences match Gervais': life in prison, no possibility of parole. The Daigles will never forget Andre, the youngest of 7 kids in a tightly knit family. They thank Rosemary Kerr for helping them find answers.
This terrible tragedy, it could still be an unsolved case had we had the help of Rosemary. It's made me more open to anything. I believe now that anything is possible.
Gervais told police he and Phillips were on their way out of town, never to return when the Daigles spotted them.
The timing, everything just fit together, and it had to be split-second timing, because if you have just one thing that throws off the timing, those vehicles never meet.
The prosecutor makes the psychic's impact very clear.
Rosemary's involvement really solved the crime. Ultimately, someday, somebody would have found Andre's body. They would have never found the killers.
Rosemary Kerr helped Louisiana police solve a baffling crime. In New Jersey, another psychic finds a suspect before his crime is even discovered. Washington Township, New Jersey. A quiet community an hour south of New York City. Here, crime means petty theft, parking infractions. Or at least it used to. On Thursday, September 12, 1985, 16-year-old Sarah Marston misses the bus after school. The 3.5-mile walk home should take her a little over an hour. But she never makes it that far. The biggest mystery the small town has ever faced begins. And it won't end until a psychic and police team up to find an elusive criminal. In 1985, in rural New Jersey, Sarah Marston misses her bus and walks home from school. But she never makes it home. Sarah's parents check with everyone they know, but no one's seen Sarah. That evening, they call police. Something is terribly wrong. Officers recognize Sarah, according to Washington Township Police Detective Gary Miko.
She used to walk through a school crossing that the officers would do each day. So we knew her that way. Just that interaction a few minutes in the morning and then a few minutes in the afternoon, and she was very nice, very sweet.
This is the way she left it this morning. There's been nothing.
A search of Sarah's bedroom reveals no clues.
Anything different? Nothing's missing.
The only missing items are the clothes she wore that morning and the book she took to school. Interviews with family and friends offer no good leads. Everyone agrees Sarah's a good girl, talented and responsible. Not the kind of kid to run away. Police and rescue workers check Patriot's Path, a trail popular with residents, as well as the surrounding woods. Perhaps Sarah is out there, hurt and in need of help. But there's no sign of the girl. Officers also canvass Fairview Avenue, the route Sarah would have taken home, looking for any witnesses.
There were several people that saw her walking, that passed her walking, that knew her and recognized her. So we had her walking home, just never making it home.
Detective Miko checks with a local service station, whose employees might have seen more.
They test drive cars up and down Fairview Avenue all day that they repair.
Good, how you doing? Can I help you? Yeah, I'm detective.
And if anyone is going to possibly see her, maybe it was them.
Miko gets his first lead about a car seemingly abandoned on Fairview.
People to walk through
Spoke
here.
to the owner of the gas station.
Have you seen anything?
He recalled seeing not only a vehicle parked there, but knew who the owner of the vehicle was. Michael Manfredoni, a past employee of the gas station.
The owner says Manfredonia came in the afternoon Sarah disappeared.
Asked for some help to repair his vehicle that was broken down the street.
I can't help him.
They had terminated him sometime prior, and he was basically thrown out of the gas station, and he left.
The owner explains that he recently fired Manfredonia for stealing a radar detector.
I didn't know Michael Manfredonia. I didn't know anything about him, and he lived in Chester Township. So I returned to my headquarters and telephoned a detective in Chester Township to get a little background on Michael. What I wanted to do was stop by his residence and meet with him, and maybe he saw her.
But the 19-year-old Manfredonia makes it easy on the detective. He's already at Chester PD for the community service he owes for stealing the radar detector. Miko goes there to talk.
And I approached him as a witness. Hopefully he saw something. He gave me a verbal statement initially on how he had taken a ride that day to a store past the high school to purchase, I believe, cigarettes and a soda. And on his way back, his vehicle was not running properly. He decided to drive over to the repair shop to have the vehicle looked at. He said the vehicle broke down prior to the shop. He backed up a hill after it broke down. He walked to the station, was refused help, and told to leave by the shop owner.
Manfredonia says he walked around the area for 3 hours in the woods and along Fairview Avenue. He claims he never saw Sarah.
He got back in his car, started it, and drove home.
Manfredonia agrees to come with Miko to Washington Township to make an official statement. About the same time, 10 miles away, psychic Nancy Orlin Weber learns about the case.
Hello?
I received a call
Yes.
from a client of mine who said to
Yes,
me,
in reference to
a
what?
young girl coming home from school never showed up and lives on her block. And she's so worried. Please, please help.
Nancy asks for a photo of Sarah. It triggers an intense psychic response and a hurried call to police.
I said, I just saw a yearbook photo of a girl missing in another town. She's dead. A 19-year-old boy killed her. He dragged her into the woods and killed her. I said, he's got a wandering eye, and he's a guy who watched her go home from school from the bus many times. He worked at a gas station, and she's the popular girl in school. And he's a kid who was never accepted in his community.
Nancy doesn't know she's describing Michael Manfredonia, who's still being questioned, denying he ever saw the girl.
He was parked probably less than a mile, half mile from her home, and she would have walked past his parked vehicle.
Manfredonia shifts from potential witness to potential suspect. The detective doesn't believe Manfredonia's story of a broken-down car that fixes itself.
How do you break down, back up a hill, walk around for 3 hours, jump back in your car, start it, and drive off? Got a problem. So I had him write a written statement, and he broke it down. He broke the timeline down almost to the minute.
Miko confers with his supervisor, Detective Sergeant George Duker, who agrees. The story rings false.
Hey, George, how you doing?
So it was conceivable, but I mean, his car broke down on the way it broke down, and he walked around after that, and then he came back and he was able to get the car and so forth. So we just weren't really buying it.
The officer's gut feelings are a lot like Nancy's abilities.
Lots of good, smart detectives are psychic. They sometimes even see things like a psychic sees. They sometimes even get words or names out of the blue. Something comes to them. They know somebody's lying.
While Manfredonia is still giving his statement, Miko receives Nancy's phone message saying she has information about the case.
Give her a call whenever you get the chance.
If someone wants to offer me help, I've got an open eye and an open ear. So I rang her up. I said, well, what do you got?
Nancy tells him what he doesn't want to hear, that Sarah's dead. She explains her vision, that the killer is named Michael, has a wandering eye, and worked at a gas station.
And I thought, that's who I have in the next room. It was on the money. I was impressed. This wasn't public. His presence in our police department was not publicized. No one knew that we had it. No one knew.
But police can't charge Manfredonia based on a psychic's vision. They still have no evidence of any crime. No sign of Sarah or what happened to her. It's a frustrating time.
It's now 24 hours after she was reported missing. It's now mid-afternoon, latter part of the afternoon, the following day. We don't know where she is. We have a guy. He's being held at this point, still basically a witness, maybe a suspect. In what? We don't have a crime yet. That was the problem.
Police hold Manfredonia for as long as they can without officially charging him. And then at 4 a.m., they have to release him.
And I remember it clearly like it was yesterday. Gary, Miko, and I drove him home, and it was the worst feeling ever because we just knew in our hearts that we were so close to finding what really happened and had to let him go.
Their best link to Sarah Marston slips away, a free man. Soon, a shocking discovery and a psychic's vision will put police back on his trail. Sarah Marston disappears in Washington Township, New Jersey, and the main witness becomes the prime suspect. Psychic Nancy Orlin Weber envisioned what happened, but there's no proof of any crime. After releasing suspect Michael Manfredonia, investigators keep searching a wooded area near where his car was parked. But in the darkness, they find nothing. The next day, the search resumes in the area where Sarah was last seen. 5 teams scour the woods and finally spot some evidence. 10:30 a.m. One of the teams finds a pair of girls' shoes. And then a purse. When the fateful call comes, Detective Sergeant George Duker lets his optimism get the best of him.
When the officer says we found her, I'm really thinking at this time, foolish thinking, I guess, but I'm thinking like, oh, they found her. She's alive. She's got a broken leg. We're going to find her. We're going to take her out of the woods. We're going to bring her home, and all will be well. And obviously that wasn't the case.
Near the shoes and purse, police find a shallow grave. Sarah's death was violent, vicious. She was stabbed multiple times. It's a terrible loss for a community hoping for the best. The body's location further implicates Michael Manfredonia.
She was found maybe 100 to 200 feet away from where his vehicle was parked.
Well, now that we had a crime, we didn't have the suspect that we once had. So once we processed the scene and took our time doing that, our efforts now had to be directed to finding the suspect all over again. That resulted in a major search.
By now, Manfredonia himself has disappeared.
He, at some point during the evening, left the residence, which is on a municipal roadway, and behind the home is a huge dump area, multiple acre site full of hills and valleys. And that's the direction that he had went.
In case Manfredonia returns, police stake out his house, ready if he ever shows back up. The medical examiner determines the young girl was assaulted and then stabbed more than 20 times. Her attacker struck with horrifying rage. Nancy Orlin Weber believes she knows why.
She represented everybody and everything, unfortunately, in his life that made him feel strange and weird. He's the outcast in his society. She's the accepted one in her society.
An innocent girl killed, perhaps simply for being innocent. While the search for Manfredonia continues, so does the search for evidence against him.
I actually met a woman who was driving on Fairview Avenue that day and passed the victim walking on Fairview Avenue towards her home. And maybe 100 feet or so past the victim, she sees and recognizes Michael walking towards her. She knows Michael because Michael worked at the gas station on the corner and recognized him. And this was the first witness that put them that close together.
Police believe Manfredonia killed Sarah. They think he's hiding somewhere in the vast landfill behind his house.
We would search this dump area with tracking dogs, helicopters, police officers, volunteers. It was a tremendous group effort with so many people in the community. And we couldn't find him. We couldn't locate the guy. Very frustrating.
After several hours, detectives find what they think is a hiding spot the suspect used in the landfill. They collect cigarette butts, the kind Manfredonia smoked, a crude wire noose, and a suicide note. But still, no Manfredonia. Miko's instinct tells him to seek the help of psychic Nancy Orlin Weber.
My thought was, well, why not ring up Nancy and see what else we have? She's batting 1,000 so far, so let's see.
Detective Miko and Nancy meet that evening.
We chatted for a few minutes and became comfortable with each other. And then I presented her with this noose.
Nancy had asked the detective to bring her something the suspect touched. She begins describing details of the case and the crime scene that have not been made public. And she says she knows where the elusive murder suspect is right now. After the murder of 16-year-old Sarah Marston, suspect Michael Manfredonia flees. But psychic Nancy Orlin Weber's uncanny vision catches up with him.
Can I draw something? Thank you.
Nancy meets with Detective Gary Miko.
I said, okay, what can I tell you? But I see everything. I see where the evidence is. I have to draw it.
What kind of drums?
Nancy sketches a diagram of Manfredonia's new hiding place.
And they're near each other. They're not.
And she said that he's up on a hill. And there's high grass all around him. He can see the police, he can see his home. He watched you when you were searching for him. Around this hill that he's on are pools of water and 55-gallon drums.
Nancy also connects with the suspect himself through a wire noose he made.
My gut told me, go with him and stay with him. He's the answer, and he's what you need anyhow.
And she continued to maneuver this noose and touch it and just speak and said that he wants to come home. He's also drugged possibly an overdose of something, but he's groggy, he's out of it. You're going to get him soon. I could feel it.
At exactly the same moment, the suspect makes his move, sneaking back into his home, which is still under surveillance. He's ready to end his ordeal. It does end, though not as he anticipated.
Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Turn around.
As soon as she said, "You're going to get him soon," the radio blares, and this detective says, "All units, he's in the house now."
Gotta go, yep.
Manfredonia had come home, drugged, just as Nancy Orlin Weber predicted.
He had taken some over-the-counter cold medication, perhaps in an effort to overdose or commit suicide. We immediately took him out, put him in a police car, and drove him immediately over to the hospital.
3 grueling days after the terrible death of a young girl, the suspect is finally in custody and charged with murder. Detective Miko looks for Manfredonia's hiding spot to confirm the rest of Nancy's vision.
I had walked back into this area a day or two after he was apprehended and found this exact area that she described. I made my way up a hill with tall grass, and at the top he had all the grass matted down. There were cigarette butts, empty packs of cigarettes, empty cans of soda strewn about. And from that point, I stood up and could see his home. I looked down. There were 55-gallon drums and pools of water. That's where he was.
And that's exactly how Nancy described it.
She was on the money. She was 100% on the money with her information. It didn't make or break the case. We were at a feverish pace ourselves, but what she had said was exactly what had happened.
I think law enforcement would really be foolish not to take a look at what some of these psychics have to say. Are they all accurate? Are they all real? No, probably not. But it's our job to kind of weed through that and see what can help us.
You know, we're not mutants. We're simply human beings who have a stronger antenna about some things. And if that can be of service, it's silly not to put it in service.
On September 16, 1985, Michael Manfredonia confesses to the murder of Sarah Marston. He is sentenced to life in prison. No one knows for sure why he did it. Unexplainable. Defying all logic and all reason. That describes the brutal murders of Sarah Marston and Andre Dagel. Just as it describes the powers of the psychics who help police bring their killers to justice.